Greeting guys. Welcome back to AITA 51 channel. Today we continue our story from subreddit AITAH. Am I the asshole? How to put it? This one really make me cry a river. Why? Let's see the story and you will find out yourself. The title, AITA, for dropping our baby off on my ex-husband and demanding he take the baby every other week, even though he wants to be an every other weekend dad. Posted by vegetable_xxxx_xxx8. This story was posted 1 month ago and garnered 9.8k upvote and 2.6k comment. Let's dive to the story. This is so messy. My ex-husband, 29, and I, 28, originally agreed not to have any children. We live in Texas and this world just isn't a place I wanted to bring a child into. I also never wanted to be a mother. My IUD failed and I got pregnant. I was devastated because I wouldn't be able to get an abortion since we live in Texas. I wanted to travel out of state to get an abortion. And I wanted him to get a vasectomy. Since I didn't want to risk this happening again, he refused both. He said he wouldn't take me out of state to get an abortion, and he made me very scared of criminal charges. He also refused a vasectomy to prevent more children, since he didn't want to mutilate himself. Long story short, I filed for divorce a month after the baby was born. It took a little over 2 months for the divorce to be finalized, which was a month ago. Baby is now 4 months old, and the maternity leave that I was lucky enough to have is up. AX's husband has moved into his own apartment. I live alone in my home that I owned prior to marriage, that I inherited from my grandparents. Ex-husband has been visiting the baby here and there on weekends, but hasn't had the baby overnight, ever. I've suggested it, but he refused. To be honest, I don't really like being a mother. The baby and I just haven't bonded much. I've heard that sometimes it takes a while. I've been overwhelmed and I needed a break. I tried calling him and talking to him about agreeing to a custody situation. He blew me off and said he'll let me know when he finds a weekend that works for him. I was really pissed. I had this baby because of him largely, or I would have gotten an abortion. I love my baby, but I don't want to be a full-time mom. I want 50/50ths. I work from home as a software developer. I'm lucky enough to be able to watch the baby while I work, so I don't have to pay for daycare, but I need time to be productive with my work. So I figure 1 week I can be unproductive while watching my child, and the next week I can work extra hard to make up for it. My job is flexible, so it'll work for me. My ex was dodging my calls, so I took our son and a diaper bag and showed up at my ex's work. He works as a car salesman. He was shocked to see me, and even more shocked when I handed him the baby. I told him, "We're doing 50/50ths custody. You have the baby this week. You can drop him off at my house next Monday." He freaked out, said who will watch the baby while he works. I suggested he pay for daycare if he needs it. He said he can't afford daycare. We argued and I told him to figure it out. If I have to figure out how to be a mom, he has to figure out how to be a dad. His parents are calling me every name under the damn sun. Meanwhile, they don't want to babysit for him. So AITA. Edit. For all of you suggesting adoption, I tried that while I was pregnant. Ex refused. I couldn't give the baby up for adoption without his permission. Also, I've contacted a lawyer about getting custody formalized, but I haven't heard back. Okay. Before we dig deep into this story, please take a sec to hit that like, and please subscribe to my channel. Your support means a world for me. Thanks. So, there's an update for this story. Posted 10 days ago. This really shocking me to the core. Be warned, this is not your usual Reddit story. Proceed with discretion. Less than a day after my last post, I attempted suicide. I took every hidden pain pill I had left over from surgeries, and just went to sleep. If it weren't for my cousin coming to check on how I was doing without the baby, I wouldn't be here today. I spent 16 days in inpatient psych and was diagnosed with PPD and postpartum psychosis. After my Reddit post, I was flooded with comments and DMs telling me what a monster I am for having a child that I didn't originally want. People said that my child would be better off without me, that my ex-husband and I are just going to ruin our child's life. Adoption was something pushed, because to most commenters, there was no way I could ever manage to be a good mother. I had considered adoption at one point, but the time for that had passed. Many people latched onto that as a sign that I shouldn't have my child. The worst part was the DMs. A lot of people outright told me to just kill myself, so my child doesn't have to deal with me anymore. Many men said women are just whores who don't want to deal with the consequences of sex. Many tried to pressure me into giving them my child. Couples with infertility issues telling me that it's not fair that I had a child I didn't want while they're struggling, and that my child would be better off with them. There was even one where she started off friendly and helpful, and we chatted for hours, just to turn and call me every name in the book when I said I am not giving her my child. It was all too much. I already felt terrible for just needing a break and some time to myself. It had been a long time since I've so much as showered alone. In inpatient, I met a very kind nurse who told me she struggled with the same things after having her child, and it took a long time to bond, but eventually everything clicked into place. I'll never forget her. Since getting out, my ex and his family have been quiet and somewhat apologetic. He has agreed to split custody. My ex asked me to pay a small amount towards daycare for his custody time, with his parents also chipping in, and I agreed. He's had the baby since I've been out, as I've been adjusting to some med changes that have been making me feel like I'm in the twilight zone. But he drops the baby off for a few hours at a time, and my cousin is mostly here to help me. Things have been okay, and they're getting better. I've been remorseful, and the thought of my child growing up without a mother potentially made me sad. I'm in therapy, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to be a better mother. I just needed help. So yeah, my advice to anyone out there who is struggling: go to counseling, find some kind of group therapy to attend, reach out to your family, get psychiatric help if you need it. There's a lot of bad people out there, and the internet is not your friend. I'm glad I'm still here. Other women haven't been as lucky, and there have even some that have taken their babies with them. If it were up to some people who DM'd me, I'd be dead right now. Ooh, thanks God. I'm really glad she was okay, and things start looking bright for her. Dear Vegetable, thanks for sharing your story. Sorry for what you have been through, all the hardship and pain you encountered. We feel you. You are strong women, and we believe you can be a wonderful mother. Okay, let's do this. Wow. Just wow. That was a really heavy story. And honestly, it's not just heartbreaking because of what this mom went through. It's heartbreaking because of how alone she was in all of it. She said it herself. It had been so long since she'd even showered alone. She just needed help. She just needed rest. From the very beginning, she was honest. She didn't want to be a mother. She had an IUD. Her birth control failed. And because she lived in Texas, abortion wasn't accessible. When she tried to travel out of state, her husband shut it down. He wouldn't support her, wouldn't even consider a vasectomy. So what happened? She was forced into motherhood. Alone, she gave birth. She tried to make it work. She was working full-time while raising a newborn. Overwhelmed, exhausted, and unsupported. She even tried to arrange custody, just to get some balance, but her ex refused. He ghosted her. He ignored her calls. He left her to drown. So she did something bold. She showed up at his job, handed him their child, and said, "You're the dad. You figure it out." Was it the right way to do it? Maybe not. But was it understandable? Absolutely. This wasn't a mom who abandoned her child. This was a mom who was desperate, who asked for help and got silent. She was trying to survive, and instead of empathy, instead of compassion, the internet tore her apart. People called her a monster, told her she didn't deserve her child, said she should just give the baby away, or worse, that she should kill herself. And less than 24 hours later, she tried. She swallowed every leftover pain pill she had, laid down, and hoped the world would be better without her. She genuinely believed that maybe her baby would be, too. Let that sink in. If it weren't for her cousin checking in, she wouldn't be here today. She spent 16 days in inpatient psych. That's when she was finally diagnosed with postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. Two very real, very dangerous, and very treatable conditions that affect countless new mothers, especially those with no support, no rest, and no one to lean on. But what truly pushed her over the edge wasn't just the stress of parenting. It was the cruelty, the DMs, the insults, the strangers who told her to die, the people demanding her child, the friendly voices that turned hateful the moment she didn't comply. She was already drowning, and the internet shoved her deeper. Let's be clear about something. Postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis are not signs of weakness. They are not proof that someone is a bad mother. They are medical conditions, and they are treatable. But only if people feel safe enough to speak up. And that's what makes this story so important. Because in the middle of all that pain, there was one person who made a difference. A nurse, who gently shared that she too had struggled to bond with her baby. That love doesn't always come instantly, but it can come eventually. That small moment of hope changed everything. Now, her ex is stepping up. His family is helping. They're working out shared custody. She's getting therapy. She's on medication. She's healing. She's still here, and thank God for that. To anyone watching this right now, if you're a new parent and you're not feeling that magical bond right away, that does not make you broken. If you're exhausted, disconnected, overwhelmed, you are not a monster. If you're scared to say I need help, please say it. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not a failure. Go to counseling. Talk to someone. Reach out to family. Join a support group. Postpartum mental health is real, and it matters. And above all, please, don't believe everything the internet says about you. Because if this story proves anything, it's that the loudest voices aren't always the right ones. You deserve to be here. You matter. And just like her, it can get better. I'm so glad she's still here. And if you're listening and feeling that same darkness, I hope you stay too. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya in next episode. Bye-bye.